Hi everyone, and welcome to this fourth video in our introduction to Flash. We're trying to make our animations come alive. And this video is just going to help us figure out a few little issues with Motion Tweens. So in the last video we looked at how to create a library symbol. This is a rocket, and I have my rocket layer in scene 1. Everything's ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're not quite that ready to go, but you know what I mean. And you can see that this rocket has a blue box around it, which means it's a library symbol. In fact, there it is. And I can double click on that to go into the rocket, and I will see all of the layers that make up the rocket. And we can see that the astronaut layer also has a blue box around it, which means it's a library symbol. In fact, there it is, our astronaut. So I can double click on that, go into the astronaut movie clip. Here we go. So these are the layers that make up the astronaut. Helmet, the see-through thing, eyes, radio waves. Look at waves. If we zoom in here, we can see that the waves are also in a blue box, which means it's a movie symbol, a library symbol. And there we have the waves. So I can double click on that, and yep, just one layer here, just something happening. I'm just going to edit this. I'm going to select that frame there where the waves get fat, and I'm just going to change the color. They don't just get fat, they go yellow as well. Is that going to work for me? Which one? There we go. Okay. So the waves now have just a different animation. Brilliant. And I can go back to my rocket, and there we go. So let's go back to scene 1, and we're just going to do a quick review of motion tweening. So I'm going to have my rocket at the start of the scene is here. And it stays like that for, let's say, 40 frames. We can change this later. But I'm going to do F6 there. And the change that happens is we zoom in on the character. I really just want to zoom in for a moment and see what this character looks like. And that's going to stay like that for another 40 or 50 frames. F6. And then it goes back to its original position. To make sure that this position and this position are exactly the same, why don't I just copy that frame and paste it into this one? Now they're identical. Those two frames are exactly the same. And now we're ready for a motion tween. So what I'm going to do is, from here, it's going to take 30 frames, from 90 to 120, 30 frames to rise up through the sky. So there, I'm going to hopefully create a motion tween, but it doesn't want me to do it. Why not? What have I done wrong? Why can't I create a motion tween? Go to the insert. No. Why can't we insert a motion tween? What am I doing wrong here? Somebody help me. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. This is the start of the tween, but I need to tell Flash the end. So click where you want the tween to end and press F5. That's where the tween ends. And in this area here, we're going to create the motion tween. So it's like a blue area. And what I want to say is, at the end of this area, in this frame here, I want the rocket to change position, and now we have our motion tween. Now what I want it to do is, I want it to wait for a few frames, and then I want it to turn around, and then I want it to come back and land. So let's have a go at that. I'm going to click over here, and F6, because something's changing. F6, and I want it, so this is the waiting period. Nothing is happening. It goes up, it waits, and then it turns. Oh dear, that's all messed up now, isn't it? I don't want it to start turning there. I want it to turn when it reaches the top. Arrgh. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So it's reached the top. What I really want, actually, I want the Motion Tween to stop now. The Motion Tween has done its magic. Thank you very much, Motion Tween. But now I want, from here, I want a normal keyframe. I want a black dot. I don't want a black triangle, which tells me that, sorry, is it a triangle? It's a diamond, isn't it? Do you see that black diamond? The black diamond tells me that something is changing within the Motion Tween. So for example, let's see if we can just create a there we go. Can we get it? There. So that black diamond there shows me that we're in the Motion Tween and something is changing. And the path is changing. Fine. Brilliant. But now, in frame 120, or whatever that is, I want the Motion Tween to stop. So I need to select that frame, and I'm going to press ALT on my keyboard, ALT, and I'm going to click and drag that frame out here to copy it. Can you see now I have my circle back, my black circle? Okay. So now I can do the change that I want to do. I'm going to rotate this. It's fine. So it goes up normally. Then I've got my normal keyframe back, so I can do a regular change. Now I'm going to do F5, or we might need F6. I'm just going to do F5 for now. We've got a big Motion Tween area here. It's blue. I know it's a Motion Tween, so I'm going to remove that tween. Back to a normal area again. So it goes up, back to a normal area of animation, and I just flip it around, and I'm just going to wait there for a few seconds. Then we're going to do an F6, and now it's going to move back down to Earth again, and that's going to take F5, create a Motion Tween, and then move it back down to Earth. And then I want the motion, then I want it to, oh, I don't want to put it in there, do I? I wanted this to go to the end. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. At the end of this Motion Tween area, I want it to reach the bottom of the tween. That's it. Good. And now I want it to flip back so that it's the right way up again. So I'm going to use that same trick as before. I'm going to select that final frame. You might have to deselect the area so that you can select just that frame. The ALT key on your keyboard, ALT, click and drag. Now we have a normal keyframe, and I can do the regular change that I want to do. And then we can do F5, because I want it to stay in that position for a few frames. We've got that blue Motion Tween area again, but there is no Motion Tween here. I don't want it. So right click, remove tween. Bye bye tween. Let's just have a look at what's happening here. At the beginning of the movie, nothing's happening, it's just waiting. And then we zoom in and nothing happens, we just see it zooming in. Then the Motion Tween starts. Then we get the normal frame back where we can just do a turn and nothing happens. Then I start a new Motion Tween, and that Motion Tween takes me back down to Earth. and then I need a normal frame again to do the turn, and then we wait. So let's test that movie. Brilliant. Okay, so this video hopefully will help you figure out how to manipulate motion tweens, how to get them to start and stop and then continue normally within your animation without the motion tween. Okay.